The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
Hi, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news: a constitutional referendum is set for November 6th. The announcement coming this morning from the Prime Minister in communication to Parliament. The nation's leader outlining the 4 bills representing the first round of constitutional reform that he says are bound together by the need to institute full equality between men and women in matters of citizenship and to eliminate discrimination. The compendium of bills is entitled the Bahamas Constitution Amendment Bill.
This bill seeks to achieve gender equality in a very important respect. It seeks to give a child born outside the Bahamas to a Bahamian-born mother and a non-Bahamian father the same automatic right to Bahamian citizenship that the Constitution already gives to a child born outside the Bahamas to a Bahamian-born father and a non-Bahamian mother. The bill is therefore simply equalizing the sexes and in so doing eliminating an area of discrimination against women that has persisted for the past 41 years.
Now, it is also important to note that this change in the Constitution, if approved, will not operate retroactively. However, the government will, as a matter of administrative policy, grant Bahamian citizenship to all applicants born abroad after July 9, 1973. Bill number 2 also seeks to achieve gender equality.
It seeks to enable a Bahamian woman who marries a foreign man to secure for him the same access to Bahamian citizenship that a Bahamian man has always enjoyed under the Constitution in relation to his foreign spouse. In short, the bill seeks to achieve gender equality in this regard. Bill number 3 is of particular interest because it seeks to remediate the one area of the Constitution that discriminates against men. At present, an unwed Bahamian father cannot pass his citizenship to a child born to a foreign woman. This bill seeks to change that. It will give an unwed Bahamian father the same right to pass citizenship to his child that a Bahamian woman has had or has always had under the Constitution in relation to a child born to her out of wedlock.
Now, Bill number 4 seeks to end discrimination based on sex, whether someone is male or female. And making a point to avoid any confusion, Prime Minister Christie made clear that this bill will not make same-sex marriages lawful. Retired Supreme Court Justice Ruby Nottage will spearhead the public education campaign leading up to the November referendum. The VAT bill was also tabled in Parliament today by Minister of State for Finance Michael Halkitis. It will be a single VAT rate of 7.5% across the board, and he calls it the most suitable option for tax reform for the country. No goods will be exempted as for services. The list of exemptions has been tightened to include financial services. Now, this covers all forms of lending and savings products issued by banks, insurance companies, and other financial institutions, the sale or rental of a dwelling, education services, the sale of vacant land, health and religious services, as well as services recognized by charity. There will be 3 filing periods for VAT. Businesses with annual taxable sales exceeding $5 million will file monthly. Businesses below that threshold and with taxable sales exceeding $400,000 will be allowed to file quarterly. Other registrants would be allowed to file on a semi-annual basis and use more simplified cash accounting methods when compiling their VAT returns. Now, Halkitis says a task force of about 3 to 4 persons will be selected to head an education program leading up to the implementation of VAT. An official from the Organization of American States meeting with members of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce today to discuss the viability of integrating Bahamian goods and services into a global value chain. The international trade specialist discussed the advantages and challenges of the Bahamas. Dr. Shari Stevenson, specialist in international trade and services, giving a detailed presentation on the Bahamas' current status when it comes to the global value chain of goods and services. With 30 years of experience in international trade policy, particularly services trade, she believes that it is good that the Bahamas has considered value-added tax, noting that in order to participate in global value chain, the country must move away from border or tariff tax.
The Bahamas has a tremendous opportunity, like all small economies, of using this services trade and cross-border trade to leverage its current advantages in terms of its human capital formation, its excellent infrastructure, its knowledge base, and its geographical location to capture services tasks that could allow it to be a major player in value chains, particularly in the context of North America.
But she says there is a challenge when it comes to goods.
Import procedures is 5 times higher than in the OECD market. So clearly, if one is talking about a goods value chain, that is a big deterrent. One would need to work on that aspect of the logistics procedures and the cost, which really means that any firm would be at a huge disadvantage in terms of participating in value chains if it had to import an intermediate input that costs 5 times more to get through the border than it did in a neighboring country.
She also highlighted the importance of partnership from the government and private stakeholders.
We need the input absolutely of the private sector so the government understands the way business thinks, the way business invests, the way business trades, and so it can design policies that are relevant to business needs.
Stevenson will meet with business stakeholders and gather further information to present to the government on global value chain here in the Bahamas. Results from the recent labor force survey showing a decline in unemployment. The national unemployment rate is said to be at 14.3 when compared to 15.4% in November of last year. Here on Grand Bahama, there is another encouraging sign as the number of discouraged workers decreased by some 60%. While commenting on this positive trend, President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce, Barry Malcolm, says he hopes that this continues.
Over time, if we see the decline continuing, that's a good thing. I think anecdotally, if you look at the real life examples that are happening in the community right now, whatever the specific numbers are, clearly unemployment is still very high. Clearly right now unemployment is still unacceptably high, and we understand that. We understand the reasons for that. We'd like to see the trend continue, and we're hopeful that the trend will continue, evidencing a recovery in our economy.
But he believes Grand Bahama can figure prominently in increasing employment figures.
We in the Chamber here in Grand Bahama are very strongly of the view that with the proper structuring, Freeport, specifically in Grand Bahama as a whole, can be a very powerful driver for improvement in the economy as a whole and a very powerful driver for a reduction in unemployment in the country over time.
Well, today was a significant one for officials of the Bahamas National Training Agency and the Hutchinson Whampoa Group as more than 30 participants completed the 10-week training program. A ceremony was held at the Freeport Harbor where all stakeholders were commended for their achievements. John Davis Roll reports.
They have gained knowledge designed to expand not only their minds but their horizons.
What they have learned, they didn't have to pay for it, number one. Number two, what's upstairs, no one can take it from you. So I think that by them partnering with us, with the NTA, that we can have nothing more than a better workforce in the Bahamas. So I think it's a positive thing that the government has done. It's positive for NTA, and it's indeed positive for the Bahamas.
A giant in the industrial sector, the Hutchinson Whampoa Group, through its entities, the Freeport Container Port, the Freeport Harbor, and the Freeport International Airport, providing invaluable training opportunities for participants of the National Training Program. Director of Human Resources Malvise Capron says that as a leader in the industrial sector, Hutchinson's participation is viewed as an investment in this island's future.
Hutchinson Ports Bahamas participated in the National Training Agency's internship program over the past 10 weeks. Needless to say, this required much sacrifice on both parts. The management and the employees' time and efforts in mentoring and coaching, as well as the interns' efforts and determination to travel to the various business units each week with the hunger and desire to learn new skills.
General Manager of the National Training Agency, Norma Pyfrom, and participants commended the Hutchison Group for their support. She says their ultimate goal is to become a conduit through which Grand Bahama will witness a reduction in its high unemployment rate.
It's been positive, very, very positive. It's so unfortunate that the job availability is not in there. The employment is not in there. But I'm certain that what they have learned, somewhere, somehow, they will be able to use it, and who knows, someone will call upon them. Someone is going to call NTA. Do you have someone who has done this? Do you have someone who has been trained in that area? And sure enough, eventually, they will be employed. And I feel like that it's going to cause the unemployment level that we have now to go down.
The program gave me an opportunity to experience something new, and the environment I was in, I extremely like the fact that it was safe. They are excellent in safety and security.
We're in aviation, refueling planes. So I get to refuel American Eagle, Delta, Bahamas Air. So, I mean, it's good to do all the formulas because we have to convert from gallons to kilograms. So my mentor, Mr. Gibson and Mr. Lewis, them were helping me along the way, pushing me, making sure I don't sag off. So I guess probably in the future I'll be one of the veterans good like them.
Officials hope that as a result of this training initiative, that young people will be better trained for the workforce. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Joan Davis-Roll.
Stay with us, there's more news right after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. An all-inclusive hotel property adding to its tourism product, the Club Fortuna Resort is implementing a new experience to its list of activities that involves one of Mother Nature's most feared creatures. Megan Shepard has this story.
The owner of Shark Academy on Grand Bahama on Island for over a month, introducing a new activity at the all-inclusive resort. Ricardo Avogadri has been diving with sharks for 30 years, and 15 years ago he created a special technique that puts the shark to sleep. He said it is beneficial for research purposes as well as diving and snorkeling expeditions. Here on Grand Bahama, guests are transported 10 minutes by boat for the diving experience.
I dive with the food just for attract the shark, but I don't feed the shark because you don't need. The shark they came close to you, I make a special massage, the shark go to sleep, and then I take a different movement and different position, depending on which type of research I want to do. If I want to tag a shark, or if I want to test some magnet, or test some DNA, or also take the shark and lift and climb on the surface so I can show the shark also for the snorkelers.
He says his objective is to educate persons that sharks are not dangerous and that his sleeping technique allows the sharks to understand that he is not a threat. While on snorkeling tours, the sleeping technique allows Avogadri to lift the sharks near the surface.
With this shark it's possible to do because we have a special equipment for security. So the snorkeler can come with us. They can see everything from the surface. They can see how to put to sleep the shark. I can come close to them with the shark. And they are in total security because they have a shark stick who look like a poison snake. We have the shark shield. It's a special shield who protect the snorkelers against the shark from about 8 meters. And then I let dive people only with a long wetsuit. So even if a shark go very close and touch the snorkel, nothing happen.
Avogadri says the technique may look simple, but it takes special training to understand the movements. There are currently 6 dive instructors at the Club Fortuna Resort, but he says one day locals can come in for the special training.
I've make one course, professional course with the main diving agency, with PADI, SSI, NASA, many diving activity. And the people, they can make the training here and they take the license, shark expert license. also for the university here in Bahamas. If there are some students, they can come here and we teach everything about sharks.
Now, those without a diving experience are taught techniques in the resort's pool before being taken out in the open waters. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Communities in the Southern District of Grand Bahama are also coming up with creative ways to improve the tourism product. Community leaders are using culture as the main attraction. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
Their focus is on preserving Bahamian heritage while promoting our culture. Grand Bahama will soon be able to boast of having a new generation of cultural enthusiasts and tour guides. The Southern Communities Ecotourism Association is at the forefront of a new heritage village being developed in the Southern District.
This whole project is a community-based tourism project that we hope to develop that would allow the local community to benefit directly from tourism.
At the core of its development is a youth-related program involving youngsters from various communities. On Saturdays, the young people gather near the historic lighthouse located off the shoreline in Pinders Point to learn about Bahamian history, create indigenous Bahamian dishes, arts and crafts, and Bahamian music. Director of the program, Nelson Mitchell, says the goal is to economically empower the youngsters to become entrepreneurs and create a tourist attraction.
The Rangers is an idea that we came about. We realized that a lot of the older folks are passing on, and so we felt like if we get the young men and women involved, they can learn the craft, learn the skills that the older folks have, and then benefit and make a living, like I said. That's the whole concept.
Organizers hope that residents and visitors alike will come out and support this initiative and get a taste of what really makes us Bahamian. Preparing popular Bahamian dishes a highlight of the cultural event. Officials say that with the assistance of proprietors of the Pinders Point Bakery and other corporate entities, they are all working to make this venture a success.
Like the conch salad, conch fritters. We would also have like chicken. Well, we have the Cedar special chicken wings. We'd have a little zip of sugar taste, sweet and seasoned. And so we want to bring all those things into this area here where people would enjoy. We want our Bahamian people to enjoy the full impact, and as well visitors that comes and visit our shores.
I read some time ago that arts and craft souvenir making is a multi-million dollar entity and industry, and if it's packaged properly, we can benefit from it instead of getting things from China, different places, and then put Bahamas on it. We can actually develop these things right here.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. Ricardo Lightborn has a check on sports when we come back.
Hey everybody, welcome to Sports. I'm Ricardo Lightborn. Well, the Caribbean Little League Baseball qualifying tournament, folks, with an early start today at the Caribbean Baseball Park. You see the Bahamas area took on Aruba in a hard-fought game. Team Bahamas undefeated and needing to close out pool play. On a high note, did just that, defeated Aruba 5-2. Ethan Bain is having a super tournament. Went yard. Angelo Cumberbatch picked up the win, but the total team effort. Also today, Puerto Rico put away the Cayman Islands 17-0. U.S. Virgin Islands also defeated Bonaire 15-12 in a pretty good game. So the pools look like this. In Pool A, Puerto Rico and U.S. Virgin Islands are 3-1. Bahamas host is actually at 2-2 with Bonaire. The Cayman Islands is at 0-4. As far as Pool B, Bahamas area is 3-0 undefeated. Curacao is 2-1. Aruba 1-2. Dominican Republic is at 0-3. Now the playoffs will start tomorrow. Curacao meeting the U.S. Virgin Islands. That's set for 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. And Team Bahamas area will take on Puerto Rico. The two winners will play for the right to go to Williamsport, and hopefully Team Bahamas area is going to be in that. Well, folks, the Michael Speed Bills Thompson Fred Higgs Invitational Golf reception was held at the Grand Lucayan Resort. So a pretty good one, as you'll find out in this report. The Invitational Golf Challenge held its reception at the Grand Lucayan Resort and well attended. Mayman Brewery CEO on hand for the occasion. Michael Thompson hobnobbing with the invited guests. Golfers participating at the social compliments of Ben Davis and Grand Lucayan had a push for junior golf.
We should always look guide, and really support juniors who want to develop this skill. And I'm only talking because golf is very close to my heart, not because my son sometimes sort of dabbles in it, but I think it's important that we really are truly supportive to the young people who want to take up sport.
Basketball players of the past shared a moment with Michael Speedball Thompson, former NBA star, CEO of FML Group of Companies and President of Bahamas Golf Federation, Craig Flowers, expressed his delight in the partnership of the event.
To be a part of this event means so much to the Bahamas Golf Federation. In particular, partnering with the Ministry of Tourism here in Grand Bahama, as well as the Michael Thompson Foundation. It is truly a special event.
The CEO of the Tourism Development Corporation, David Johnson, speaking on behalf of the Minister of Tourism, reaffirmed the commitment to getting Grand Bahama back as a premier golf destination.
And we in tourism must be happy to see this event here. It's because we're embarked on a journey in Grand Bahama to reestablish Grand Bahama as the pioneers of golf once again in the Caribbean. You might think I'm joking when I say that today, but I can assure you in less than 15 months, this will begin to resemble a true golf destination. We are committed to reopening courses that have been closed and upgrading them in partnership with the owners and with others.
The Los Angeles Lakers basketball legend Michael Speedballs Thompson was taken by the support for the tournament and the foundation. Bahamas boxing champ Sherman Tank Williams also in attendance. Well, folks, Michael Thompson, our Fred Invitational actually was dubbed a unique one, and the golf and basketball, that's a kind of unique combination, right? When you put a golf club in a basketball player hand, let's see.
Los Angeles Lakers basketball legend Michael Thompson on the greens Tuesday afternoon with some of Grand Bahama's best and upcoming golfers. Thompson says while this is the first golfing challenge that he's hosted here on the island, it certainly won't be the last.
You got to bring some more exposure to the Bahamas, because when you bring the big name people over here, they go back to the States and they brag about what a great time they had here. And so that word of mouth spreads throughout the United States, and that means other people want to come down here and see what's going on. So next year, when I bring down the celebrities and they have such a good time here, they're going to tell their friends, and their friends say, hey, well, I want to go the next year. So it'll just, word will just spread, and this will be one of the major attractions to come to.
Thompson fully believes in sowing into the lives of young people, both through sports and education. He says he plans to start a foundation with that objective in mind. He hopes to have some big names involved in the project.
So we're going to combine academics and sports to give the young people an incentive and motivation to do well in the classroom. And in the meantime, to also encourage them to play sports, whatever their favorite sport is, just to get involved with teams and for the exercise, for the camaraderie, to learning responsibility. And so we're going to combine all those facets of playing, learning to get along with each other. It's going to be a great foundation, and it's long overdue. I want people like Charles Barkley to come down, Magic Johnson, Stephen Curry, everybody knows plays basketball for the Golden State Warriors, Clyde Drexler, an NBA Hall of Famer. And so the celebrity list will just keep expanding as this tournament just starts to get better and better. People are going to, like I say, want to be involved in the invitation list to come down here and experience and enjoy the Bahamas.
Thompson, a Bahamian himself, says it's important to remember where you come from and to give back.
I've always wanted to come back here and give back to the Bahamas, because the Bahamas always supported me so well throughout my career. So this is a way for me to give back to my country, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Michael Speedballs Thompson says he plans to expand the Michael Thompson Fred Higgs Golf Challenge next year and to include a number of celebrity appearances. He says it's all for the benefit of the country and the young people. Megan Shepard, ZNS Total Sports.
Thank you, Megan. Again, talking about Michael's Foundation, and this is one that's going to be throughout the country, will benefit all the kids in the Bahamas, not just Nassau-centric. Got it? Tomorrow we'll show you some highlights of some of the guys who should never play golf again. And that is Sports Tonight.